a dragon. Okay, so Place monitor. We call them Goannas. Get a lot of them in this area. Some really big, some really small, and this guy is about in the middle of those two groups. He's juvenile, probably 2-3 years old. Shed his skin about 2 months ago. He comes by about every 3 weeks. He's in competition with a much bigger guy, probably 2 years older than him. And whenever the bigger guy's around, he clears away from him because they're very territorial when it the size of his claws. They're quite big, and they use those for climbing trees, and they will incidentally use them for scratching you if you're unlucky enough to get in the way of one of them. The mouth is the most dangerous part of these guys. It is extremely toxic. It has a lot of bacteria in there from eating carrion, and if you're bitten by one of these guys, you're gonna have to go and get a lot of shots. You want to give them quite a bit of respect, and don't do anything stupid with them. So some people will say me sitting here, this distance away from them, it's probably a little bit close to comfort. I've studied this guy long enough to realise that he's fairly predictable. I'm in no way saying that I'm 100% confident of what he's going to do, what he's not going to do, but he seems as scared of me as what I am of him, which is a good way to be. The little groan in the background from the noisy miner, that is a typical call of there is a predator lurking around. It'd be good if I can get this on film actually. Go and do your little noise. The little groaning is the noisy miner warning other birds and possibly me that there is a predator crawling around on the ground. There it goes. Now, one of the other birds, we've got a lorikeet nearby, and we've also got a, not focusing, butcher bird. Lace monitors will obviously prey on the young and incidental attacks that they can get on them. They'll eat the eggs. They often raid the nests, and in fact the butcher bird that's up here, the first pair of butcher birds I ever raised were birds that had fallen out of the nest from a goanna attack. And I'd been listening to the noisy miners and the butcher birds for about 3 hours one day. And I'm thinking, okay, what the heck's going on down there? I went down there, there's a huge goanna down there walking around, and he was looking for the babies, and they, as young, they stand completely still and use that as a form of camouflage, and they were able to avoid detection from the goanna. Unfortunately, I nearly trod on both of them, but I happened to look down at my feet and see the 2 butcher birds on the ground. I picked them up, took them home, and denied the poor goanna his meal that afternoon. I did feed him the next day because he was a regular visitor to my place at the time. And I hand raised the 2 butcher birds. Unfortunately,